Welcome to Holy Made Life, where I believe that you are not created to do just one thing in your life well. You are not just your job, your title, or your salary. You're not just a mom or a wife or a sister. You are fearfully and wonderfully made to lead in all areas of your whole life. Your life is like a pie that's made up of different pieces that create a complete circle. And girl, you deserve to enjoy the whole pie. Hi, I'm Angie Tonini-Rogers, and Mama, I know you are really good at what you do in your profession or business. But if you're ready to stop ignoring different pieces of your pie and reclaim your whole life, then you are in the right place. Girl, let's tap into the whole life God has for you and experience that God-sized fulfilled life. Together, we're going to walk through some boundaries, leadership, mindset, and restoration in different areas of your life that may need to change. It's going to be some tough work up in here, girl, but we're going to walk this thing out together, uncovering some bold, courageous actions that we can take to experience not just a good life, but your whole life. Are you ready to live your whole life wholly made? Let's do it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of Holy Made Life. And ladies, the very first thing I have to do is apologize, because the last time when I started the new season, I said that I'm going to drop an episode per week. Well, life happened and I wasn't able to be consistent with that. So, there are a lot of things going on right now in my life, as I am sure your life. And so in order to not make a liar out of myself, which I never intend to do, I will just say that we will meet hopefully monthly. Okay. And if I can release more than that, then that's amazing. That's awesome. But I am going to right now in this season, at least try to drop an episode at least once a month. I mean, these weeks have been flying by. So I have been up to a couple different things, which I'll talk about in another episode, but it's just been quite crazy if I want to be completely out there and honest. But today's episode, ladies, is about something that a lot of you guys have asked about. And according to one of the most popular episodes that I have, it is about prayer and the power of prayer. So I want to talk a little bit today, not too long, but just a little short episode here to talk to you about the power of prayer, because prayer is so, so very important in all of our lives and all of the lives that you are connected to. Prayer is so powerful. So the very number one highest tip that I can tell you about the power of prayer is that you have to do it. There is power in prayer, but only if you do it. So in order to, reap all the benefits of prayer, you have to pray. And I think sometimes we think that we'll do it tomorrow and put it off. But guys, if we really thought about how powerful prayer is, we would be making more time to pray. So if nothing else, just do it. Just pray. That is the number one thing I can say to you about the power of prayer, is that it is powerful because we do it. And one thing that I want you to think about is it's not that you are powerful when you pray, it's in who it is we are praying to. The power comes from God, and God is capable to do all things. He works all things together for our good, for those of us who believe. And I believe that 100%. And so it's not that because I pray things happen, it's that God responds to our prayer. God is the power behind our prayer. And when we are in unity, when we are with Him, when we are in unity with others praying about a certain thing or a certain person or a certain situation or our government or our schools or our cities, our leadership, when we are in unison and praying for that, there is more power in that. And because God, who it is that we are praying to, is the all-powerful. He is the one that makes things happen. And when the Holy Spirit moves through prayer and through that faith that develops and that discipline that develops, that obedience that develops through our prayer, things happen. That is how it works. So the power of prayer comes from, number one, in doing it, and number two, in having faith and knowledge in the one that we are praying to. And when we are praying to God, it is not, like I said, the result of our praying as far as the power in that. It is the power that resides in God. It is He that will answer our prayers if they are in agreement with His will. And so knowing His word is also important when we are praying, because if we are praying in alignment with His word, then He will act in accordance to His word and His will. He will answer us, and no answer is an answer sometimes. A delay is an answer sometimes. It's always going to be in our best interest. He works all things out for our good. Um, and if it aligns with His will, then it is going to come to pass. And the other piece of that is that even when there's a no, or even when there's a delay, or even when there is no answer, we continue to pray and we continue to take those steps, because all of our steps are ordered by the Lord if we are called for His purpose, and we are in obedience to what it is we feel like He's calling us to. Then we are taking those steps of faith, and we will see the results from that, whether now or later. Whether our circumstances line up to what we know is the truth is really not relevant. It is our actions in the meantime. As you guys know, as I stepped out of my nursing career, and because God said, step out. There's something different. I have more. I have different for you. I didn't know. And I still am in the process of walking that out. And that's been one of the things that I've been working on, is this new adventure. I'm doing the coaching for women, and that has been amazing. And that is continuing and will continue. And I have been doing a lot of real estate investing with a group of people here locally, learning a lot of things, managing some short term rentals, helping to place travel nurses that come to serve our community here in Louisville. And I recently just passed my real estate exam, and so I will become an agent, and I will help people sell their homes here in Louisville as part of that process. But, I don't know what all the things are going to look like, but I do know that I know that God asked me to step out. So when I'm obedient, that is when the revelation comes. That's when things are revealed, because as you take steps, more and more is revealed. And just like every time you take a step, if you take one step down a step, your perspective of what you can see changes. If I am sitting in a chair looking out my window, well, my perspective is different than if I stand up and take a step towards the window. So you have to always be moving forward, and you have to be doing that in obedience. And one of the tips somebody asked recently, well, how do you know when you're praying and you're praying about something specific, how do you know what the answer is, or how do you know? And for me, I really just continue to pray about it until I feel a peace about the decision. If I don't feel the peace about the decision, then I continue to pray about it, because I don't want to take a step in a direction if I don't feel that it is in alignment with God. And some things you just know, okay, this is in alignment, and you take the step. And now, not that you're not praying about it, but that you just have that knowing. It's those decisions that where there are multiple doors open, and you are having to make decisions about the doors that are in front of you. Do you go left? Do you go right? Do you go straight? Do you turn around? Um, you know, those are the decisions sometimes that are harder. And so what I do is I just continue to pray until I feel like I've gotten an answer. And the answer for me is typically feeling a peace about it. And as long as I find that peace that I feel that kind of overwhelms me when I'm thinking and praying about a certain topic, then I know that's the right decision. Here's the other thing. And recently I was in this position. There was a situation where I was praying about, a door that I could walk through, that I wasn't sure if that was the right door that I should be walking through. And I had some unsettledness. And instead of listening to that unsettledness or waiting to make that decision until I felt that peace, I went ahead and walked through that door. Well, um, what I found was, while that was a good experience, it was not the door that I was being called to. So while I made a decision to walk through a particular door and having a particular experience, um, what God does is He helps you even when you have taken a step that may not have been in alignment with what He wanted you to do. So, what you can trust is that even when we don't make the right decisions, God will still come chasing after us. He will still come to pull us back and get us back on the path that is in alignment with what He wants, that is in the ordered steps that He has for us. If we can't take a step outside of the designed and divine steps He already has prepared for us, He will come chasing. He will come through and get us back on the right track if we are open and willing to listen. I almost immediately knew that this was not the right decision, and so I had to pray then for Him to help me find a way to exit that situation. And He did just that. It took a little bit of time, and I did learn stuff in the meantime, but looking back, I did not feel the peace making that decision, and I should have waited until I got that final feeling of peace, or at least was able to proceed without the unsettledness that came with that. So that's important to remember, that sometimes you just have to continue to pray until you feel like you've gotten that answer. Okay, here's another big tip as far as the power of prayer. I think some people get a little nervous about prayer because they're like, I don't have the right words. I don't know enough of the word. I sound silly when I pray. Maybe you were raised to just pray certain prayers that you've kind of memorized, and you don't know how to pray outside of that. So the key here is that, again, it's not about you and the words that you're saying. It's about your heart. It's about your intent to want to be closer to God, to want to talk to God. And it's not about the words. It's not about the words that you say. It's not about the passion behind your prayer. It's not really about the purpose of your prayer, other than you want to talk to God and you want to get closer to God and you want Him to know that you are trying to understand what His will is for you. You're asking Him to reveal things to you, to show me who it is you want me to help today, God, or show me what it is you want me to do today, God, or God, there's 3 different jobs I'm thinking about. God, help me make the right decision. Help me make the decisions that's in your will. Help me get placed in the place where you want me to impact the people around me. So it's about the intent and the heart of wanting to get closer to God and just wanting to make those decisions that He has already laid out for us. Remember, it's a finished work. It's all finished. He already knows what the end is. He already has the path. It's just, how open are we to pray through those things and be willing to give Him our yes, even when that yes feels scary. Like when I was walking away from my, chief nursing job, that was the scariest thing, one of the scariest things that I've ever had to do. But I knew that it was right because I knew that He called me to do that. And I said yes. And I just took the step. And here I am, almost, it's not quite a year later. It was back in November. So we're in October now. We're getting ready to be in October. So almost 9 months, 8 months it's been. And He has provided. I, I mean, it's amazing. When you step out on what God calls you to do, when you are obedient, that brings the favor. That is something Pastor said in a service last night, was um, the favor is the result of your obedience. That is powerful. The more obedient we can do to what it is He's calling us to do, the more favor and blessings follow us and touch others that we're impacted by. So again, remember, it's bigger than just me. It's bigger than just you. It is about your kids, your husband, your family, your people on your job, the people that you haven't met yet. Your obedience is important to the future for others, for their purpose, for their revelation of who they are and who they need to become to be in alignment with who God's calling them to be. Okay. And so I don't want you people to worry about their words or their phrases. Just talk to God. Just talk to him. The more you read the word, the more you focus on that, the more words you will have that are exactly in alignment with what God wants. And so, pray to God to ask you for a hunger for his word so that you want to wake up every morning and do a devotion. You want to wake up every morning and read a Bible verse or memorize a Bible verse or whatever it is that gets you closer to knowing more of his word, because his word is the truth, and our obedience to that word is his will, and that will bring favor. um you know it's not magic, it's just obedience. It keeps us in relationship with him, it keeps us communicating with him, and we just have to ask him for help. We have to let him know what we need. If we don't reveal to him what we need, then we haven't taken that step to say, I give it to you, God. Show me, help me, take me, lead me. If he knows what our needs are. The funny thing is, it's like he knows the things that we have that we don't like about ourselves or that we're trying to hide. He knows what all those things are, but he has given us free will, and with that free will, we need to take action that shows him that we are obedient and that shows him that we are in relationship with him. We trust him, we have faith in him, we love him, we want to hear from him. Okay, so it is so much about obedience. So that is the power of prayer that I want to talk about today, or I wanted to talk about today. And I encourage you to just start, just do it every single day. Make it part of your morning routine or your nightly routine, or, when you're washing your hands, say a prayer. Look at yourself in the mirror while you're washing your hands. You're supposed to be washing your hands for 20 seconds anyway. So say a prayer at that point, and if you don't know anything else, say the Our Father. Take that time to pray, thank him, ask him, tell him, you know, all of the things that you would do with your father, your mother, your best friend. Like, he is all of those things to us. So make sure that you are having those conversations with him daily. And that's it. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be formal. It's just you and God creating that daily relationship. And, throughout the day, just thank him for whatever you comes to your mind. Just bring the acknowledgement to him, and he will reward you for that. You will find favor and blessings through that obedience and that yes to God. All right, ladies, I will see you on the next episode. For the next couple of episodes, what I am going to do is give you some ideas on prayers related to specific parts of our life wheel. So parenting, being a wife, becoming more spiritual, your work, your finances. So I will go through this next series of just talking through different types of prayers that I have heard through my friends. Maybe I've gotten them off of the internet. Maybe I've gotten pieces out of the Bible, but just different prayers that could be in alignment with what it is you need to pray about right now. For example, my son is in college, and I am always praying for, his covering and protection and salvation. And because that you need to cover your children at all times, and you need to thank God for connection that the Holy Spirit has with your children, and that your children will continue to seek him out in all things and everything that they do, and that he will reveal the purposes of their lives to them so that they know the steps that they should take, and they know what they should study, and all of those different things. So All right, guys. Next time we will do a series of prayers related to the different parts of our life. Okay? Thank you guys. Have an amazing day. And remember to reach out to me on Facebook, in the Facebook group, Holy Made Life. And you always can send me an email as well at Tonini-Rogers@gmail.com. I'll see you next time. Hey, before you go, I'd love for you to hop over to my podcast and give me a review. And you know I'd love 5 stars. That's how we can share this thing with other women just like us. Your 5 stars and written review really helps me get the word out. You can also take a screenshot of this episode and tag me in your Insta and Facebook stories, and I'll give you a shout out right back. Leaving a review and sharing this episode is the best way you can show me some love. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. And remember, your smile is like a boomerang. Throw one at somebody and it'll come right back.